against the Sacramento Kings. I wasn't going to say a good Sacramento Kings team. I can't speak. But anyways, tough loss for the Jazz. Let's talk about it. It's Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, before we get into this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Tough loss for the Jazz. It was just a close 1-point loss. They played up to the wire. The Jazz have absolutely done what they've said they were going to do. They are playing to win these games, and they played to win this one, and it didn't matter. They lost. The Kings are depressing. I mean, if you're a Kings fan watching this, you deserve a lot of credit for your fandom, because some of the crimes they commit against you are truly horrible. And some of them deserve jail time for some of the decisions they make. For some reason, the Kings decided last year that they wanted to be the losing Chicago Bulls with Domantas Sabonis. They have DeMar DeRozan, who I am now officially never using him on Prize Picks again, you bum. He was awful. So Kings fans, or Jazz fans, guess what? I tried my best. It's probably on me. I picked some stuff with Walker Kessler, and he was terrible, so it's my fault. But anyways, this Kings team is just really tough to watch, but they were able to beat the Jazz. Zach LaVine was just awesome tonight with 31, and then Malik Monk went 6 for 9. Nice against the Utah Jazz in just 20 minutes. I swear Malik Monk just destroys the Utah Jazz no matter what. He enjoys beating the Jazz more than any other player. He is officially a Jazz killer. He was great against Utah tonight. Not much else to say about the Kings. They're just depressing. There's just not really a lot. I mean, this is a 500 basketball team, but because they're in the West, they're probably going to be 5 or 6 games below 500. It just is what it is. I don't know. Now let's just talk about the Jazz, the team I love. Who cares about the Kings, right? Do Kings fans still like the Kings? I know I have a Kings fan friend that I talk to once in a while, and it just feels like being a Kings fan, you're talking about your shame all the time. It just feels like shame. Yeah. But you know what? If the Kings want to make a big time trade with Utah, I bet they would listen. We'll see. Austin Ainge has been Mr. Hotshot with like the refuting rumors, and the Utah Jazz are playing to win now. And that's where I want to start with this. This Utah Jazz team came into this season. I mean, it seems like every offseason we get fun little quotes about this Jazz team. Like 2 years ago, right after the Jazz made the Donovan Mitchell, or the second year after the Donovan Mitchell-Rudy Gobert trade, and we get the big game hunting thing. And what was the big game hunting we found out? They tried to trade for Mikal Bridges. That was the big trade. And then this year, we're playing to win. We're not tanking anymore. Well, you're 1-2, and you beat a Clippers team that wasn't really trying. And tonight was a lot better. I think the Clippers just found out that the season started today. In fact, what was the Clippers' final score? Clippers win against the Suns. So I don't know. It kind of makes you wonder after tonight, was this more of the Clippers being bad last game or the Jazz just being good? Probably somewhere in the middle, but the Clippers were terrible and Utah took advantage. In this one, the Jazz played pretty darn well for most of this game. I still have a lot of questions about their defense. In fact, we're going to pull that up. I don't know if I guess we can look at it right now. After tonight, let's just do it now. The Utah Jazz went into this with the number 1 offense in the NBA. Let's see where things stand now that everything's said and done. This isn't completely accurate now, but this is players. Let's go to teams. Advanced. All right. The number 1 offense in the NBA is the Charlotte Hornets. Still the Jazz at number 4. So that is showing up nicely for Utah. They drop 3 spots, which actually is a pretty good amount. They were at 135. They're now down at 120. So not as good a night tonight. A little bit tougher when you're playing against the team who's trying. Defensive rating, Utah. Let's see where Utah stands on the. They're at 12. So Utah is the number 4 offense so far and the number 12 defense. And honestly, they looked pretty good tonight. If you're a 1-1 team with a close loss and a blowout win, this kind of tracks. So, we'll see as the season goes on. But Utah, this defense dropped. They were at 14, but it wasn't the full league that played. I am really impressed that they're the number 4 offense, to be honest. So that's interesting. S69, thank you for the $2, my man. I really appreciate it. Are there going to be more SLC Dunk playbacks? Sadly, no. Our contract with play SLC Dunk account, I don't really have all the perks that I would give out if I just did my own. Maybe I'll do my own at some point if playback continues to grow, but it kind of feels like they just want the bigger name people to do it, and I don't know. But sorry, but I appreciate the donation very much. Really appreciate it. Let's just go through the players. Lauri Markkanen looked awesome tonight. 12 for 23. He did go 4 for 13 from 3, which is still something I'm watching. Like, why isn't this 3-point percentage better? Considering the Jazz offense is so good, it may not matter, but he goes 4 for 13. That's great. It's just this 12 for 23 from the field was nice. And he was doing a little more with the ball in his hands. So that was nice to see. It does feel like he's just playing at a little bit higher level. The only thing, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, not a lot else. It feels like we're seeing a little bit of what Utah was doing with Lowry 2-3 seasons ago, where you can just tell the offense tonight was really geared around getting him buckets, and he did pretty well. From 3, I'm sure he would have liked to shoot it better, but everyone would have liked that. This is just something to watch because the 3-point percentage for the season last year was 34. Tonight, 30%, It's just something to watch. Why is this not higher? Because every excuse last year was that, they're not trying. They're trying to lose. So he's trying to miss these shots. Well, trying to win. There was no test. Oh, I thought my audio went out. So guess what? They're trying to win. And it didn't go, the ball did not go in. That rhymes. You're right. So it's more valid criticism now. When we're trying to win, we're going to dissect things. And Markkanen has to shoot it better with his contract, and him being the focal point of the offense just has to do better. And he is not the on-ball person. It's Keyonte George on a rookie contract. So it's nice to see him do this, but it's got to be a little bit better from 3 if the Jazz are going to win to hit these, right? Everyone else in the league gets strict, unfriendly criticism, right? Markkanen deserves the same. If you are getting paid max money, you need to be putting out max numbers. Now, this is great. This is me criticizing someone for 33 points. I just think if in a close one by 1 loss and you shoot 30% from 3 and you're considered an elite 3-point shooter and that's your number 1 skill, it should be better. Now, he does a lot of other things. That's what makes Markkanen a really, really good player. Great from the field. He did a lot of nice things, but you would like to see this better. Filipowski got the start again tonight, and he played pretty good. He had a plus 19 along with Svi Mikhailuk, which is, I don't know. I would prefer Taylor Hendricks in this role because of the defense. But Filipowski had a solid night tonight. He shot it better from 3. He had that nice assist. He had 4 assists total tonight and 6 rebounds. So really tonight, in a lot of ways, showed why Filipowski starts is because it gives a little bit of relief to Keyonte George, who is handling an absolute huge load at the point guard position, and that does provide some secondary playmaking, which is great. So nice to see him play well. It makes some sense. I prefer Taylor Hendricks, but you know what? If he hasn't earned it, he hasn't earned it. So good for Filipowski. I don't have a lot else to say. I mean, he's one to watch. I mean, you can't argue with the plus minus. You cannot argue with the points, although just 25 minutes tonight is just interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting season so far, guys. The Jazz are 1-1, and we're just going to see how this team evolves as the season goes. Walker Kessler, it's probably my fault that this all happened tonight, but I put on 2 assists. The Jazz have been running the offense through the center all season. Did I get Chauncey Billups? Did I get Damon Jones tonight? But they had been running the offense through the center at the top of the three-point line all preseason. First game of the season against the Clippers, and then tonight they ran their traditional pick and roll offense. Walker Kessler was just rolling to the basket. So I put 2, they said 1.5 assists, and I was like, well, if Walker's at the top, he's getting 3 or 4 like he's been getting every night. He did, oh my gosh, he got 2 assists. I hit my prize picks. Is that for real? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry. I was so excited. By the way, I'm going to try to bring back prize picks for all of you to get like free money on this, but let's see. Oh my gosh, I think I hit. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Anyways, I thought he only had 1 assist. If this is real, I'm excited because I hit it. But Walker Kessler tonight, 3 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. It was not his best night. And I was a little disappointed because Domantas Sabonis comes back from injury and kind of crushed tonight. I mean, Domantas Sabonis was 12 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist. I guess that's pretty good, actually, from Walker Kessler, although he was 6 for 9 from the field. Nice. But anyways, you just wanted to expect you wanted a little more. As good as he was in that first game, it was a little 6 turnovers tonight. 6 turnovers for Walker Kessler. Not great. If you're running the offense through him and you're getting 6 turnovers, that's not ideal. So we shall see. Man, I'm so tempted. Let's just watch these. Not avail. They're like, we're trying to screw you, James. But anyways, we'll see. Walker Kessler looked incredible last game, and he looked solid tonight. I don't think he looked $30 million solid, if you ask me. He was good. I don't know if I'm paying him $30 million because, tonight was a night against a Sacramento Kings team, super motivated, playing super hard, and it didn't go very well. It went fine. But are you paying $30 million for this? I mean, 3 steals is good. I don't know. I'm not paying $30 million for that, but we'll see. Maybe he'll have another bounce back game next game and changes the narrative. It feels like the narrative changes every game. Svi Mikhailiuk, I'm out. I am so sick of this. It is really stupid. I do not know why Svi Mikhailiuk is playing. I have my theory. We saw that tweet from Ben Anderson where he talked to Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey said he wasn't out because he was sick. He said he was sick the last day or two, but he hadn't been sick for 2 weeks. We also saw, and this is me putting on the tinfoil hat, but we saw the report or the quote from Will Hardy talking about tendonitis in his knees. That's what I think this is. Ace Bailey has not played well and has only played 13 minutes. He must be on a minute restriction, and I think it's tendonitis. I don't know. I mean, we've all been sick. We know how that is, and it's tough to play when you're sick, but, it's been how long until he's better? I don't know. My guess is it's the tendonitis, and that's why I've never heard of a player having a minute restriction because of sickness, right? Am I out in left field here? Does anyone else remember that? I think you would, but what would make sense is if you have a minute restriction for something like tendonitis. And so maybe this isn't Will Hardy's fault. Maybe he is being told minute restriction for Ace Bailey because of the knees. We know what Ace Bailey's capable of. We saw it in preseason. We saw it in Summer League. It's just the shot's not really falling. And I have a feeling it would make sense if someone was dealing with some tendonitis in their knees that would hurt their jump shot, right? That would make sense to me. And I think that's what's going on. So right now, and I still hate it despite that. Starters, because what is the point of having Svi Mikhailuk play with the starters. If we're just trying to win games, here's the thing, and this is something that, I don't know if this is a Ryan Smith thing or a Will Hardy thing, but in life, and guys, we're going to talk about a movie, one of my favorite movies. It's called The Nightmare Before Christmas. My favorite, I love that movie because the music is awesome, the show is great, but it has a message where basically the message is who you are. The Jazz are doing lineups right now, which is fine, as if they're the Oklahoma City Thunder, as if every single game matters and they're playing for playoff position. Does anyone think that the Jazz are making the playoffs this year? Any reasonable person? After the first game, it kind of looked like they might be a little interesting, but after tonight, I think it's probably rightfully going to kind of adjust people's expectations. But the way the Jazz are running their starting lineup, it's as if they're the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Denver Nuggets, and you're playing just, the best player possible to eke out the best possession and minutes. That's not what the Jazz should be doing. That's, we cannot forget who we are. We are Halloween. We are not Christmas. We have not gotten to Christmas yet. The Jazz are in Halloween season right now. They still need another superstar. They are not there yet. Once we get to Christmas Town and we have Darren Peterson, who, by the way, scored 16 points in 9 minutes for the Kansas Jayhawks, looks like an absolute superstar. Once we have that guy on the Jazz, then you're in Christmas Town. Then you're playing that to win. Then you play guys like Svi Mikhailuk if he's hitting a higher percentage. And by the way, Svi Mikhailuk did hit 40% of his threes tonight. And Ace Bailey has struggled. The thing is Svi Mikhailuk going to even be on the Jazz next year? So what's the point? What are we doing? Are we building for a championship or are we just building for wins? Because there is a difference. And having Svi Mikhailuk play over Ace Bailey is dumb. And it is very short-sighted. And it is very, just this. And I tell you what, Ace Bailey probably knows what, my guess, that's why I think it's the tendonitis, guys. That's what I think it is. And I think that he's on a minute restriction. At a certain point when he is at 100%, whether it's sickness or what it actually is tendonitis, in my opinion, then he needs to be starting. If at that point he's not, then I'm going to start being annoyed because he deserves that spot. He's a better player than Svi Mikhailuk. He's bigger than Svi Mikhailuk. He has more talent than Svi Mikhailuk. He's a better defender than Svi Mikhailuk. He can move quicker than Svi Mikhailuk. He doesn't have as many turnovers as Svi Mikhailuk, who had 2, by the way, in his just 24. Ace Bailey did not turn the ball over. Bailey also did manage to grab 2 rebounds and 1 assist, and that's with, what he's dealing with. So he needs to get that time. It's going to be better. Plus, it's better for him to develop long-term by playing with the starters, playing with better players, so he, can play and up his level of play. It's really frustrating the Svi Mikhailuk stuff. It really is. So that's my thoughts on that. I really hope that Ace Bailey... Tendonitis, that's tough. If he's dealing with that and it's pain, and the remedy is rest. I don't know. So that is why this makes sense to me, and not that Svi earned it over him. So I got to give a little bit of credit, I guess, to Will Hardy, but this is frustrating as a fan. Keyonte George. I know some people on the social media sphere are talking about the percentages. Keyonte George was really good tonight, and he's been really good these last 2 games. Now, we gave a lot of criticism to Lauri Markkanen for his 3-point shooting, so I guess we should give some to Keyonte George, although I think some of these were last-second shots, once again, that are not his fault. And you're also looking at one of these being that last play of the game shot. It needs to get better, and we're all talking about that. We all understand. It looked really good against the Clippers. It's development still for Keyonte George as well. But what is really exciting was this right here, 7 for 7 from the free throw line, and these 10 assists. He was awesome. Like, he really was. Now, the shot was not falling, and that's got to be better. If Keyonte George shoots it better, they win this game. If Larry Markkinen shoots it better from 3, they win this game. If Ace Bailey hits one shot, they win this game, right? So we got to make sure we're being fair. Keyonte George has to shoot the ball better, and I'm rooting for him to shoot that ball better. But one thing he has been doing, and we've got to, give him his grace, is he is manning the offense, and he is doing a good job. 10 assists is great. With 10 to 4 assist to turnover ratio, that's pretty darn good. You'll take it. 4 is a little high. You want this to be 2 or 3. You want this to be right around 3 a night on average with the minutes he's playing. So 4 is not great, but this is not terrible. When you're handling the ball as much as you are, you're going to turn the ball over. So that's why 2 to 3 a game is the goal. And so 4 is a little high, but he's doing a good job. 10 assists is awesome. And you know who's loving Keyonte George right now is Lauri Markkinen. Keyonte George is setting him up in a great way. And I love this evolution of his game becoming more of a pure point guard and setting his teammates up. He'll get better. The shot selection with him has always been the thing. It feels like it's getting better. He's just getting kind of these last second tough shots that are going to count against him, and people who didn't watch the game will look at the box score and be like, well, what about? And it's like, well, watch the game. This is why we watch the games. Now, we talked about this all year last year. One of the reasons why he's going to get better is just shooting it less. If it's a bad shot, don't take it. And so we just got to watch him. Can he continue to improve his shot decision making, right? And also work the offense to a level where you're not having to take last second shots. That's one thing he can do better at as well. And also his teammates, it is the responsibility of everyone on the floor to run the offense and get the best shot possible and do it within the 24 seconds. If you're getting your offense blown up, then you've got to improve. But it's everyone's responsibility to take the best shot possible when you have it. And if that's at 18 seconds in the shot clock and you got an open 3, take it. Take the shot, right? So we'll see. We'll see how this evolves. But I've been really impressed with the playmaking. The shooting has to get better. Bryce Sensabaugh, he did hit for me on Prize Picks. I think one of the most easy picks for Prize Picks is the over on Bryce Sensabaugh threes, because this guy is a sniper, and what he's going to do is he's going to take between 6 to 8 a game, and he's going to hit them at like 40%. It's awesome. Tonight, 3 for 7 from 3, 6 for 11 from the field. I think this is his role, and I love it. Like, him just playing as that sixth man is great, and I think the Jazz are going to just continue to do this. I think next year Utah's going to win the lottery. I just have a feeling. And they're going to have a superstar join this team, and they are going to go for it. And Bryce Sensabaugh is 100% going to be part of that team. I think it's probably off the bench because I do think there's some playmaking deficiency there. -9, that's not great. And, he's not really assisting his teammates much, but that's not really his job. His job is to take the threes when he gets them and in the minutes he's given. So in 22 minutes, he took 11 shots. 7 of them were threes. That's solid. That's solid. And he's such a good shooter. He's hitting 42%. So, if anything, you would argue more threes from Bryce Sensabaugh is what you want. He's such a pure shooter. So nice to see. It'd also be nice to see him get a few more free throws. He's kind of that mid-range pull-up guy. So that might not be really part of his game. And that's probably another reason why he's not like a focal point scorer, is because the guys that can get to the line, that's why this stuff from Key is not something to be taken for granted. 7 free throws, 7 for 7. He's just really good at it, and it is a talent to get to the line. It's really impressive stuff from Key. But that's just not really Bryce Sensabaugh's game. He's a catch and shoot 3 guy. He can pull up if he needs to, and he's good at that as well. He can also drive, and he had like 1 or 2 like nice floaters in this one. So he's got such a nice scoring option game, but I think really it is just off the bench. Ace Bailey, we've talked about a little bit already. I think it's tendonitis. It sucks. I bet the Jazz want him to start, but it sucks. 0 for 5. I think the knees are hurting. And we've talked about this before. 100% of the time when guys are shooting like this, it's because something's wrong with their body. And this thing about sickness is baloney. It's tendonitis. And it sucks. It really feels like they should probably just shut him down for a little bit, but you want him to develop. So the Jazz are in this impossible position. And what they're doing is 15-minute restriction, just like last game. Makes sense. I am tired of watching Svi Mikhailuk, like I'm sure all of you are. He'll get there. It's just hopefully those knees can get better. I don't know, it makes me want to Google tendonitis. Can we get this better? But it sucks. Also, Taylor Hendricks played just 16 minutes. I don't get this one quite as much. I mean, 3 rebounds and 3 rebounds, 1 assist. Oh, should have brought this down. 3 rebounds, 1 assist. He missed his 2 threes he took, and he's at just 2 points. So that stinks. That was a tough game for him. They've talked about him playing into shape a little bit too. So I wonder if Ace Bailey and Taylor Hendricks are in this boat of trying to like ramp up, but it's a little tough for Utah. So they're being tentative about it. Could be. Both looked really good in preseason, and now there's a struggle there. Yusuf Nurkic was fine. 11 rebounds, 4 points. Not much to say about him. He just plays solid backup center. Really nice. Not much else to say. Walter Clayton Jr. is looking like a steal from the draft. Holy cow, does he look good. Tonight, 4 for 7 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. He's hitting that 3 at 33% now, which is nice to see. And then 5 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 3 assists tonight. He just fills the stat sheet, and he's a good player. He's one of those guys where I'm like, if he's on the floor, I just feel like he's going to make a good play. And I would not be surprised if he just continues to earn more and more minutes. It's, 20 minutes tonight. He had more minutes than Nurkic, Hendricks, Bailey, and almost as many as Sensabaugh. So he is just earning more and more and more time on the floor and just looking more and more consistent. He might be, I don't know. Walter Clayton Jr. is really good. Really good. And we'll just see what happens. But it's hard for me not seeing him just continue to grow and develop and become a big-time part of this team. Whether it's off the bench with Sensabaugh or, maybe one day he starts. I don't know. Better, but not all players that are 4-year starters come in and just do what he's doing. He's 22. He's older than Keyonte George, but a veteran in some ways. It's pretty impressive stuff. So yeah, we'll see. Fun to watch. Walter Clayton, absolutely a blast. We talked about the offense and defense. Utah's actually performing pretty well to start the season. We'll see how that goes. It does feel like the Jazz are just flat out better. And, shouldn't be surprised when you're playing Lauri Markkanen the full game and Walker Kessler and so on. So good to see. Not a lot else tonight, guys. Not a lot else. Let's just check the standings here after tonight. Are we in the bottom? No, Utah's not in the lottery. Still 1-1 after tonight. That's crazy. Why aren't they in the lottery? Oh, if the Jazz are going to get up to here, they got some catching up to do, that's for sure. But no lottery pick tonight, guys. Sorry, the Jazz are our playing team right now. Let's give a shout out. Oh, we already have it up. Let's give a shout out to the All-Stars, guys. By the way, I got to put out the question for the members Q&A. I'll send that out tomorrow. And so any members, favorite X-Men character, ask me whatever, and I will answer it. It'll be part of that members Q&A. And if you'd like to support the channel, just hit join, and you can either join and be a part of the bottom 2 tiers, or you can join the All-Stars. All right, so let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. Thank you guys for your support. I really appreciate it. Here we go. And when I get the new ones, I always got to be like, oh, I can't forget their name. All right. Let him cook sturdy pots. Wait. Let's give I got to do it right. I did it wrong. Let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. I believe in... No. All right, let's do this right. Let him cook sturdy pots. Ezekiel Raicibe, the man from down under. The Price is Right, Tyson Price. See ya, Lexalator, Jordan the Goat Best Rule. Ryan Edward Perry, the legend. Christian House Money, DeHaas. Robert Hall of Fame, I Believe in Steve, Jazz Exile. Austin R. Grant, Editor Extraordinaire, and Flipping the Script, the OG. Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur. Guys, this was a fun game. The Jazz are a fun team. We'll see how this team develops. We've got some things they've got to improve on, but we'll watch that in the next game. Get some rest, Ace Bailey, and get some rest, Hoops Nerds. I will talk to you tomorrow. I will be putting